The next part we're going to paint will be the yellow parts using number 4, Mr. Color. I've already spray painted all these white primer. I did say that I was going to spray paint that chrome inside, but I think I'm probably not going to do that. I mean, I'm brave enough to do that. That's done. I've used yellow before. Sometimes yellow is very forgiving. All the times I could screw up and damage or screw up a part. Many of you might be asking me, why don't I do the old orange and yellow trick that I did with the Proto Zero? Yeah, that would be a good idea, but you know what? I kind of like how strong the yellow is on the original Wing Gundam. So this is okay. For some strange reason, when I was cleaning up these parts, a little hole is showing up there under that. And I don't have any putty, which would have been perfect for me to cover this. I gotta look into getting more supplies. My hobby store that I used to go to moved, and been meaning to see him, but it's a long drive now. It used to be a little closer. As a matter of fact, it was roughly 15 minutes from where I worked. Now it's literally over half an hour drive, and I don't have the luxury to miss a day at work to do that. There's other places I can go and get stuff, but he had some really good deals, and of course he had Alaclad 2 paints. It was through him that I used to buy all the Alaclad 2 paints. And if you guys want to know, it was F&H Hobbies that was in Route 10 at Denville. Now he moved to Flanders. I should go see him and do a recording video of the new facility. Hopefully he has it ready. Alright, I think that pretty much covers all the... Oh, no, not all the yellow parts. Even though these are all the yellow parts that, yes, that Rinacita has. There's one part that I need to do, and I had to make sure I looked at this kit thoroughly. It is the shoulder parts, because there's that little trim, that circle trim there. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in so you guys can see. Right there. And for that, I'm going to paint the inside yellow. It's kind of hard to do this, especially on black, even though black would be great for trimming. There you go. Then of course I'm going to cover this up with some masking tape and then respray paint the rest white. Alright, I gotta wait until this dries before I can take care of it, and then we'll move on to the next color, okay? Next up is going to be the metallic red number 75. Very few parts here that require it, but use a little bit here. Doesn't show that much metallic look to it, but I'll give it another pass later on. You know, I just want to get the overall done. Let's try that. The front part of the jewel. Okay. The wings. I'll just do one more so you can see this, and then I'm not going to waste your time with you guys watching the remaining parts. There's only 3 more left, but here's the foot, of course. There we go. It's really nice. Metallic red is gorgeous from Tamiya. Alright, let me just finish it up and we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the white parts, which I've already painted, primed it black. And I'm going to use number 1 white. I was thinking of using off-white, but I said, you know what, probably better this way if I'm going to use some brilliant colors. So, let's clean up some of the particles on this, get rid of the dust that's there, and let us begin. I was thinking of doing some pre-shading, but I guess this is okay for this way. Alright, so what do you think of that? Okay. I'm just going to give it one pass, let it dry, and then give it another. Let's look into something a little bit more complicated. This is the part that I spray painted yellow in that little area. Now, I was going to use masking tape like I did before. It's easy to do it on square shapes, but when you do round shapes, it's kind of hard to do. Sometimes it doesn't conform to the way it is. But then I realized I could have used easily the little putty there to cover it and shape it into the circle. So let's see how well it comes out when I airbrush it over. Now this area is going to be covered up, of course, with one of the green parts. So I really don't mind that. It's just that I want to make sure that the front part is nice and covered. Now I do see that the yellow is bleeding through the white. Whoops. That I don't have to worry about because I'll give it another pass as we're waiting for it to dry. Right now I'm just going to give some light passes on some of the parts that need it, and then later on I'm going to respray paint it again. Sorry about that. Keep bumping on the camera. Sorry about that. I should have repositioned it in a better way. So, here we go, let's try this one. Alright, so I'm going to continue on with this, give it light passes. Then I'll wait until it dries and I'll give it another pass, and then once it's done, we'll move on to the next color of this kit.